Hey, what's up everybody? I'm Tony from Tony's Professional Touch, based out of San Bernardino, California. And in today's video, we're gonna be talking about my training process, and we're gonna be learning a bit more about Joseph.
How has this first month working with Joseph been?
Pretty well. He's catching on pretty quickly. So we should be pretty solid by next month, like completely 100 with our process, at least for all the maintenance and like basics.
All right, Joseph, so you've been working with Tony for about a month. How's it going?
It's going pretty well. For the most part, I'm just trying to get used to being a little bit more thorough with a lot of my detailing, because in LA, a lot of our clients weren't nearly as picky. That's one thing I've noticed about over here. And the cars are usually a lot more, not so much more dirty, but they're a lot more dusty for the most part. So it's a little bit more, I guess, kind of difficult in like some of the tighter spots. So that's really my biggest thing right now. Besides that, I'm really just trying to get a little bit faster, but because I'm covering more surface area for the most part. So.
And what have you learned from Tony so far?
Honestly, just trying to be a little bit more thorough in a lot of other places. More specifically, like kind of like door jam area. That's something that we would go over with other people that I've worked with. We would go over it, but there's a lot more thoroughness, and he wants everything to be kind of like perfect for the most part, and at least as perfect as you can get it, which wasn't something we really paid close attention to over there in my other places. Also the windows, I don't have much experience with windows up until recently, so trying to leave them streak free in every place is kind of difficult for me still, but especially during hotter days. But besides that, it's really just thoroughness.
So what are some things that you didn't know, like in regards to detailing, that Tony has kind of shed a light on?
Honestly, I've had some experience with like paint corrections and ceramic coatings, but that's something he's trying to get me a little bit more into.
So have you done a paint correction before or no?
Yeah, we've done a few of them. We've done, I want to say 3 paint corrections now, and really it's just getting used to the equipment again, because I've had experience with it, but he's trying to get me to actually learn it. For the most part, before I would just kind of follow instructions, but now he's actually trying to get me to get it in my head, because he eventually wants me to be able to do some of these jobs on my own. So that's really my biggest thing right now. I'm just trying to memorize it for the most part.
What techniques and methods have you taught Joseph in this first month?
Well, I'd say a big technique one would be the glass cleaning. Trying to get him to like learn that one like pretty much to perfection. That one's everyone's like hardest part of detailing for the most part. So if he can get that done, he can get most of the basics done. And then on the interiors, it's really more just of being a bit more observant of the whole area and being a bit more thorough on all around, just to look more thoroughly and double checking everything. Just pretty much things like that. Oh, I also have him I want him to know basically everything from the basics. So like in and out, in case there's something I can't do, or if I'm basically talking to a client or whatnot, he can take care of it. So I have him, So I've showed him how to do things on the exterior as well as the interior, so all around. So it's not just like he's doing interiors only. He knows how to do things on the outside as well, in case they need to be in case they need to get done.
And have you trained him in like customer service, the customer service aspect?
A little bit. Like yesterday, I was like super proud when I seen this fool. Like a potential client came up to him, and I was working on the van inside the shop, so I couldn't. The potential client didn't even see me. They just saw him because he was working outside on the truck, and so they asked him for like business cards, and he already knew what to do. I didn't even have to remind them, because we have old business cards in the van, because I have freaking like 4,000 business cards from like 2-3 years ago, or flyers as well, and they have old prices on there. So I always got to tell everybody when I hand them out, any new client, I got to let them know. So the contact information on this flyer is the same, but the packages and the pricing has changed. And so like I didn't even have to tell him. The potential client came up to him, and you want to say what you said?
I really just said what he says, that the contact information is still the same, and that the packages have changed, and so the pricing.
Yeah.
I know that because I've just seen him do it for the most part, so I just kind of
picked it up.
Yeah, I picked it up.
So how's your schedule like working with Tony? Because I know you said you live like in downtown LA.
Yeah. Right now I live in Boyle Heights, so it takes me about an hour to get here and an hour to get back. If I zoom over here, then like 45 minutes. But luckily I don't catch that much traffic. But it does kind of suck sometimes because of just the distance overall. But I'm not working too much right now. I'm working roughly about 10 hours, which is pretty solid because we get a good amount of breaks in between, obviously, in between customers. We get food and stuff like that. So it's not like it's 10 hours straight unless it's a paint correction. It's really just a drive back home that kind of sucks. But besides that, everything else is pretty good.
So Joseph, have you guys detailed like a high-end car that you've never worked on before, or?
It's not really like a high-end car. It is a tuner car. The Supra, the Mark IVs. I've never really worked on any of the older Supras. I've done a couple of Mark Vs, but yeah, that was pretty cool to get to work on a few of the older Supras. You don't even see them pretty often, so being able to work on a few of them all in one day is pretty cool.
Got it. And so what are your favorite kind of cars to work on?
Honestly, probably German cars. The plastics are a lot easier to clean, and so are the carpets. They're a lot more, I guess, kind of like user friendly, and they have the best finish afterwards too once you actually clean it, and they're a lot faster to do. So probably Germans.
Do you see this opportunity with Tony, working with him, as like a long term or?
Yeah, honestly, I do want to try to get this in for at least a few years because I do want to go to school, and I feel like this would be a good job to have during schooling and stuff like that. After that, I don't know what exactly the plan is for sure yet. It all just kind of depends on the future of this and what I want to use it for. It's going to be a welding degree or a certificate, I guess you could call it. So it all just depends on what I want to do and how this is going at that time, if I do decide to stay for the entire time.
Got it. But right now
Right now I do plan on doing this for at least a few years.
Cool. Tony's got some help then.
Mm-hmm.
Is this like the first step to growing your employee base?
Yeah, somewhat. I don't know if I told you, but I kind of hired another person already.
Oh no.
So like they're gonna be part-time, but it's another step forward into like growing it a bit. I do want to get them to like quit their other job and hopefully get both these fools going, and get more people. But I need more work, I need more space, so this might have to go. So if anyone's interested, shoot me your offers. Probably gonna sell the van. You guys will see it posted up.
Can you trust Joseph with like detailing his own car and you do one car?
Yeah. So we've already done something like that already in these past like couple weeks, where we have like 2 or more vehicles at one location, and what will usually happen is we'll knock out both of the outsides first, and then I'll start getting to drying and he'll start knocking out one of the insides on one vehicle, and kind of just work our way through like that. So I'll dry both vehicles and he'll just work on one vehicle, knocking out the full interior, and then the door jambs and whatever else needs to get done, windows inside and out, and then he'll move on to the next one while I'm finishing up the outsides. Alright, well there you guys have it. That's how training's been going, and you guys got to learn a bit more about Joseph. Let me know in the comments down below how you guys do your trainings, and remember, if you guys like this type of content, please make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching.